We've seen anti-American sentiment on the rise in Egypt. American journalists from CNN and Al Jazeera, several other organizations have said that covering the protests in Tahrir Square and elsewhere after the coup has been much more difficult and less safe than it used to be. Bassem Sabry wrote this piece for Al Monitor titled, "Why Egyptians Don't Like America." In it, he outlines just how divided Egyptians are over everything, including America's involvement. Bassem, I want to start by reading a quote from your article back to you, if you'd let us. You said that the one thing they are all united on is that U.S. Ambassador Ann Patterson must leave, and American, quote, interference in Egypt has had a negative impact. Why do you think Egyptians hate America?
Well, let me start by saying something. I mean, when I speak to Egyptians, they seem to be negative about the U.S. government. When it comes to American people, it's a much more complicated situation. I mean, you would see many signs in the protests that go something like, we like Americans, we love Americans, but we don't love the U.S. government, so we have a problem with Obama. There are mainly four issues that have contributed to the negative sentiments. One is a lot of propaganda and conspiracy theory throughout the years, and especially now in the media. Many of them have no supporting facts, and claims such as the U.S. wants to divide Egypt into four smaller states, and that Morsi was an American spy all his life, and so forth. And these things have been increasing. The second is what has been seen as a bad U.S. Or unsuccessful U.S. foreign policy throughout the past couple of years since Mubarak's ouster until now. Three has been the policy since June 30th, which has also more and more divided Egyptians over. They aren't divided over whether or not they like the policy. They just disagree on why they hate it. And finally, the fourth item is the background to all of this, whether it is Egyptian nationalism or the Arab-Israeli conflict and the role of the U.S. inside that conflict. So these are the four main elements.
How do they perceive the policy? I mean, what are their contentions with the policy? What is the policy?
Well, let's put it this way. There are mainly four main elements, or four main groups in Egypt. One is the unpoliticized, and this is the majority. Then you have the pro-revolution side. You have the pro-Morsi side and the Islamists. And you have the pro-Mubarak side, or the anti-revolution camp. The anti-revolution camp thinks Obama gave up too soon on Mubarak, and then that this was bad for Egypt, and that Obama should have stayed by Mubarak, supported Mubarak more than that. The pro-revolution side thinks the Brotherhood and the U.S. have been too close, and that the U.S. has been working to further the Brotherhood and increase its grip on Egypt, and that they think there was a mutual benefit agreement between the Brotherhood and the U.S. to the detriment of Egypt. The pro-Morsi side, of course, on one hand, has all of these ideas that the U.S. is by definition against Islamism, and on the other hand, after June 30, they think that the U.S. has given up on Morsi again too fast and has been too accommodating of the new situation too fast. Mm-hmm. And finally, the unpoliticized, or the silent majority, as they call them, just generally doesn't have a very good view of U.S. policy in general from the days of Nasser until now.